Sports.
We are sports. We are Southeast.
Well, those aren't Miami palm trees. We'll see those tomorrow. Those are trees here in St. Petersburg, Florida, because the Braves and Rays have another game to be played here at Tropicana Field. It's game 2 of the series. A thriller last night. Braves won their 20th game of the season by a final score of 1-0. Easy for me to say. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe, welcome back to the ballpark. Partner, the Braves on their way to 20 wins have gotten great pitching. They've gotten timely and explosive hitting. One aspect of this club we haven't talked about is Atlanta's sparkling and athletic defense, something that was on display in the series opener last night.
Yeah, and they've moved up in the middle of the pack in the National League in terms of defensive percentage, errors committed. They've only made 21 errors so far on the year, and last night their good defense was on display as they turned 3 double plays for the Braves pitchers. This was a beauty on a slow hit ball by the catcher Sucre. Now this one was impressive because Albies went to Camargo, who threw a 90-plus mile-an-hour fastball to first base for the double play, and then in the 9th inning a crucial double play on the line drive as Albies had his feet set, all set to throw when he hit the ground. That was beautiful.
So Atlanta getting beautiful defense, which has led to 3 consecutive road shutouts by this Braves pitching staff, and Julio Teheran's got the ball tonight.
Yeah, in his last start against the Mets, he was probably his best. 7 innings, didn't give up a hit till the 7th inning to Asdrubal Cabrera, but he fired 7 innings of shutout ball, and he had a good fastball, a lot of fastballs in that outing, as you're seeing right here, more so than we're used to seeing, and I think that made his slider and changeup that much more effective. Walked 2, struck out 6, and as usual for Julio, he's been very good on the road. Let's hope that continues tonight.
1 was enough for Sean Newcomb in the Braves bullpen last night. I'm sure the Braves would like to give Julio a few more tonight, and we'll see if Kevin Seitzer's band can provide the winning margin tonight. When we come back, Paul Bird will visit with the Braves hitting coach. Seitzer metrics, the subject matter. We'll talk about the Braves' blistering offense when we come back to St. Pete right after the break.
Welcome back to Tropicana Field, everybody. Braves-Rays getting ready to play the final game of the two-game set. I have to say, as a former player, that I really, really like the Braves coaching staff. I love EY, Ron Washington, Weiss on the bench, Fasano. Kevin Seitzer, one of my favorite. I think he's one of the best, if not the best, hitting coach in the league. You may have heard of sabermetrics. It is a way to give numbers to establish value to players that may not have been so obvious before, making you able to make better decisions. Well, welcome to Seitzer Metrics, where Kevin Seitzer gives his own stats to what a quality at-bat is. That's a different way to look at a bat where a guy may be 0 for 3 or 0 for 4, but yet he had a great game at the plate. Here he is telling me how he arrives at what a quality at-bat is.
As far as overall quality of at-bats, I look at any hit obviously is a quality at-bat, any situational at-bat, keep track individually, each player, each statistic, hit and run, moving guys from second, nobody out, infield back with a man on third, less than 2 outs, infield in, and what our team overall percentage and individually. And then additional ways to get quality at bats are a walk, hit by pitch, 8+ pitch at bat, and sac flies. I mean, that's usually something with infield back or in, but also the hard hit outs.
Make no mistake, there is no easy out in this lineup, but you can see, as we probably expected, Freddie Freeman with the .538 quality at bat, quality plate appearance average. Markakis in there, Acuna Jr., he's off to a great start, and Suzuki, no surprise there. Now, team quality plate appearances, 420 average. Quality plate appearance on an average scale, 400 to 425 is excellent. A lot of guys through that lineup hitting the excellent mark and above. Let's face it, the Braves are a tough team, top to bottom. I certainly would hate to pitch against them. And I really like the way Kevin Seitzer gives value to players who walk up to the plate. We'll see how many quality plate appearances the Braves are able to put together. Braves-Rays coming up next.
Staff, he has led the Braves to a 20-14 record so far this year. Atlanta starts play tonight, a half game in front of the Philadelphia Phillies in National League Eastern Division play. Braves have done good work on the road, winning 12 of 19 games away from home. His Toyota starting lineup has a couple of changes. Ender Inciarte moves up to the number 7 spot in the order. Charlie Culberson gets another start at third. And it's Tyler Flowers behind the plate, sandwiched in between Bautista and Ender Inciarte tonight.
And they'll go against an interesting guy tonight in Ryan Yarbrough, 26 years old, 6'5", 210, born in Austin, Texas, grew up in the Lakeland area, so he's come home after a trade from Seattle to the Rays. His last outing was actually in relief against the Blue Jays. 5 innings, a 1-hit shutout ball, no walks or 4 strikeouts. Doesn't throw overly hard, 88 to 90 with a lot of cutters. He's got a good changeup and slider, but nobody's hitting him. 24 innings, only 16 hits allowed. That's an overall 176 average. He can sink it as well as cut it.
So the Braves will have their hands full facing another left-handed pitcher tonight, but Atlanta's hit him, Joe. In fact, Braves start play tonight with an incredibly good batting average against southpaws.
Yeah, the best in the major leagues, 283. Last night, however, they had a little hard time. That's no surprise. Blake Snell was very impressive, and he and Venters did a good job on the Braves. Atlanta did not get a hit after the triple by Culberson in the 5th inning last night. So they start tonight due.
Well, Ozzie Albies will lead off. He hit the first pitch of the game into center field for a leadoff single. More great work for Ozzie in the 1st inning. And he takes one up and away, ball 1, and we're underway. Albies hitting an unbelievably good 500, 17 for 34 in the 1st inning. And he cues that one foul. And it stayed foul. 1 ball, 1 strike for the Braves second baseman. Excellent work leading off. 284 his average overall. When Ender Inciarte was dropped to 9th, Ozzie moved the leadoff spot. We'll see if that continues down in Miami. Broken bat, bouncing ball, foul at 3rd. And Albies will get a new piece of lumber here behind in the count.
That's irritating. Break your gamer on the first AB. Gotta bring the bat in off the JV, see how he does.
These guys even have a JV? They're 20 for crying out loud, way upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's a good point.
Yarbrough turns it loose and fouled away. Out of play. The Rays are unique in so many ways. We talked about some of those things last night, but their use of what they call a bullpen game, once, sometimes twice through rotation. That's because Nate Eovaldi was penciled into their rotation. He's coming back from some elbow issues. As this one's chopped toward 3rd. Duffy loads up and gets his man by a step, and we're underway with a ground out to 3rd. Yeah, if they can get Nate Eovaldi back, we saw him pitch some great games against the Braves. A man with a big right arm. Be a nice 1-2 punch with Blake Snell in rotation.
No question it would be. We'll see if that high chopper is a sign of things to come, courtesy of Mr. Yarbrough with his sinker.
Acuna takes a strike. A 3rd inning home run accounted for all the offense for the Braves last night. And Acuna, as he's done, Joe, so often in the first 2 weeks in the major leagues, made some more history with that solo home run.
Not too many of those in 1-0 games for rookies.
First since Phil Cavaretta to account for the only run in a 1-0 game via a home run. Ronald Acuna last night. He fouled that back. It's even now. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
What was that, 1935?
1935.
It was a no-doubter. Great sound. And a long one.
So it's 2-2. And strike 3 at the belt. Maybe a little higher than that. Acuna's rung up. And there's the 2nd out.
That's the way this game started last night for Acuna. On a check swing where he thought he got robbed. That wasn't high. wasn't height, provided Julio Teheran gets that same call.
There you go. Well, here's Freeman, 2 outs. Freddie 1 for 3 last night and takes one up and in. Ball 1. Adam Kalhamari is the man behind the plate. As Freddie takes a 3.08 average into play tonight, and he lifts one to left. Denard Span, though, is right there. And Yarbrough has a 1-2-3, top of the first inning. Julio goes to work. No score in St. Pete. Julio Teheran on the mound. Good to see Julio smiling and pitching like the Julio of old. He has been outstanding for Atlanta of late. And Joe coming off a brilliant performance against the Mets. Let's see if he can back it up indoors tonight in St. Pete.
He's 2-1 with a 3.65 ERA. First time he's ever faced the Rays. But he's had trouble getting out of the first inning. An almost 13 ERA, followed the rest of the game by a 1.5 ERA. Well, let's take a look at the 4 keys tonight. Number 1, as you would suspect, have an easy first inning. Get a 1-2-3 inning and then see what happens. And heaters. He set a career high for most percentage of fastballs in that game against New York. His last time out, 81% fastballs. He's got it working.
And a longtime nemesis, Denard Span, will greet him first. Span has 13 career hits against Julio, including a home run head-to-head. Span has been ice cold of late. He's batting 150 over his last 7 games. Interesting that it's not Carlos Gomez leading off, but Denard Span tonight in game 2. And there's a strike. 1-1 to Denard Span.
Braves have seen a lot of Denard Span, as those numbers against Julio would indicate, in a couple of different teams in the National League.
That's slashed out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Now he's in the American League, where he can delay a pitch until he's ready to hit in a most annoying way.
Well, he's in the right league. They play longer games over here, so he'll fit right in with Tampa Bay. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got in front of that one, didn't he?
Just a tad.
Hit it over the catwalk and into the upper deck foul. Span was part of the haul for Tampa Bay when they traded Longoria to the Giants. Christian Arroyo, Matt Kruk, Stephen Woods Jr. along with Span came from San Francisco. Denard's in the final year of his contract. There is a club option for next year, as that would miss low for a full count.
We're told that he's really had some big at-bats for them already this season, and tough, long at bats where he's battled.
He'll see a 7th pitch to start the game. And Julio got it. So Span's retired on strikes. C.J. Cron is coming up. He strikes out a lot. Good start for Julio. Here's how the Rays line up. Tampa Bay has been one of the better hitting clubs in the American League. Problem is, they can't seem to get the big hit consistently when they need it. They have now played 17 one-run games this year, and they've lost 12 of them. An astounding total after 33 games. Cron's hit 7 homers. Trying to launch that one and fouled it back. Strike one. Cron's reached base in 14 straight games via hit or walk, and that ball's hammered down the line. He just missed a home run. It is a very short porch right down the line at the foul pole.
And a short wall, too. Just 315 at the pole with only about a 4-foot wall.
Outfield shifts toward right with this 0-2 pitch that Cron took. And now 1-2. Mentioned last night, Cron, a former catcher, injured his shoulder, and the Angels moved him to the infield. He's always been able to hit. And that went over his head. He ducked underneath.
Wow. That was a close one. Inside target, but not that far inside.
That was amazing. Cron got out of the way of that pitch. 2-2 the count. Strike 3 froze him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Tehran. An 89-mile-an-hour fastball. He's using it early and often. So far, so good. 2 outs.
The night in Philadelphia when everybody was concerned about Julio's fastball, and there's that pitch, the same pitch called on Acuna. His fastball never got above 87. It's not going to light up the radar gun, but he's got to be sitting between 89 and 91 for a comfortable night.
Matt Duffy is the Rays' third baseman. He's hitting .286 for the year. Long at bat for Span. Julio's begun to throw darts. He's ahead 0-2.
I like Duffy. He's a nice player. As you said, second in the Rookie of the Year voting the year that Chris Bryant won the award. But so far, slow start for him this year, even though his average is up 286. A lot of strikeouts, 28 of them in 98 at bats. And he's made 4 errors at third base, which is unusual. And he's been hurt some, too.
Duffy's had some hamstring problems, but back in the lineup tonight. And he serves that one into shallow right field. Markakis is there, makes the play, and Julio has a 1-2-3 of his own in the first.
Launch angle. I think the people explaining launch angle kind of misunderstand the concept of launch angle. I just think they see an angle a ball comes off the bat and they don't really know how they get to that launch angle. And no, it's not about your bat angle. It's more of where you hit the ball. You hit it out in front. Obviously, you're going to have a better launch angle. You let it get deeper, you're not going to have so much of a launch angle.
Nick has a unique way of making the seemingly complicated rather simple to understand, doesn't he?
I love you, Nick. It's just so great.
And he's right? Get it out front.
Yeah, you get it out front, it's going to go. If you don't, it won't.
He's gotten it out front 6 times this year. His 6th home run came in game number 31 this season. Nick didn't get to 6 home runs last year until game 108. That was in the first week of August. Not only is he hitting for more power, he's hitting for a high average at .333 on the year. And a chopper over the mound. Tough play, tough spin. Wendell can't make it. And Markakis has an infield hit, the first of the night for Atlanta.
Snaps a brief 0 for 8 for Nick, too. Right off the plate, over the mound. Even the big left-hander can't reach it. And an infielder who reminds me a lot of Mordecai, former Brave. Wendell couldn't come up with it barehanded.
So Yarbrough to the stretch with Jose Bautista up there. Jose had 2 walks last night. They pitched him very carefully in innings 2 and 4. He popped out and struck out in his other 2 trips to the plate.
Pitch there. Cutter.
Bautista debuted with the Braves on May 4th. He's gone 3 for 12 since coming up from Gwinnett.
Thought he was very patient last night. Walked his first 2 times up.
One ball, 1 strike. Lifted high in the air on the left side of the infield. Duffy's going to grab it, and he does for out number 1. Well, last year Bautista hit .203, but I heard someone say the other day a good indicator of how well a guy is swinging the bat is if his on-base percentage is 100 points higher than his batting average. That was the case for Bautista last year. Got on base 31% of the time, despite that low batting average for Toronto.
I think right now, and I know he played some games at Gwinnett. He's down in Orlando. This is still very much early for Jose, and I think his bat speed shows that. His timing is a little off. He's a little bit behind. Pop-ups will tell you that. So it may take a few more games for him to start zeroing in on major league velocity, location. He was showing signs at Gwinnett. What was he, 4 for his last 12 with a homer? He was showing some signs of that bat speed beginning to match up with the pitching. This is a different level.
2 balls, no strikes for Tyler Flowers. Didn't get it. 2-1 the count. You could say the same thing for Tyler Flowers, who's only played a handful of games after he got hurt opening day.
True.
The 2-1 is launched out of play foul.
And another thing, the Braves take a lot of flips. They're called, short tosses that have a little zip on them in the cage. But it's very hard for Kevin Seitzer or Jose Castro, the hitting coaches, to put any spin on those short tosses. They might trick them a little bit with maybe like a change-up type toss, but not a breaking ball. So that's another thing that requires an adjustment while you're in there.
Ground ball hit toward Miller. He drops the ball. He'll recover and have only one play at first. So there's a break. That was a reasonably easy double play chance, but the Rays dropped it.
Yeah, this is a tight play. We'll see how it plays out this inning, whether or not Ender can make them pay for that. It doesn't go in the book as an error either, but it's a play that should be made to cut down on a lead runner that gets into scoring position and hurts teams that are trying to figure out a way to win.
Anders in an 0 for 19 slide. This would be a great spot to break out of it with Nick at second base, 2 outs. And upstairs, ball 1. What do you see going on with Ender at the plate right now?
Well, he's run into a slew of left-handers. That's not helping him any, and I think that's causing some of his timing and balance issues, trying to hang in there. He didn't have any trouble with left-handers last year and didn't at the beginning of this year. But if there's one thing I would say, it's that he's opening up a little bit, not able to stay back like he normally does. And it looks like he's trying to get that front foot down a little quicker to just let his hands work. We'll see if that happens tonight.
He's choked up ever so slightly with a 2-0 pitch. They've raised an edge. 2-1. Right back where it came from, a base hit. Here comes Nick around third. Malik Smith, his throw to the plate is way short. And heads up base running by Inciarte to move up 90 feet. Ender comes through with the game's first RBI hit. It's 1-0 in the second.
Well, there again is a place where the Braves have taken advantage of a mistake by Miller. He made 2 mistakes this inning. One, he booted the ground ball that only allowed him to get the out at first. And now in this hanging breaking ball or cutter, Ender drives in the first run, and Miller's nowhere to be seen to be the cutoff man. Pretty good throw there by Malik Smith, but no one to cut the ball off. Miller was way back behind the bag at first, an observer.
And that's shocking to me. Miller's a middle infielder, and it has been before. Now Ender's going to try to steal third, and he's going to make it easily. His 14th stolen base.
Got excited, got on base, and he got to run again. I was teasing Ender before the game, and I said, you're going to get 3 hits tonight. And as he walked away, Kurt Suzuki said, we can only hope so, otherwise he's going to do himself in.
So here's Camargo, runner at third, 1-0 Atlanta, and a swing and a miss.
Johan's 0 for 11.
It's the lefties that have given him so much trouble. He can stay back and add to the lead. Braves won 1-0 last night. They're winning 1-0 tonight. So the dropped ball at first, not hitting the cutoff man. Atlanta has a run and a chance for more. Two balls, 2 strikes. And out of play for Camargo. He's hitting 200, a couple of homers, 9 RBIs. The inning started with a little infield hit by Markakis. Ender brought him home. He's at third. The pitch. And Camargo went around. And he's down on strikes. Check swing takes care of Camargo. The Braves get a run, 2 hits. Tampa Bay's defense helped the cause as well. Julio's got a run to play with. It's 1-0 thanks to Ender's 13th RBI. your score here in game 2. Let's take a look at our Zaxby's indescribably good play. Here's a very big reason why the Braves are on a road roll.
How about this? 37 and a third innings, a sub-1 ERA, sub-200 average, and 20 consecutive scoreless innings, which is now up to 21.
How good was he last night?
Telling you, he's on the way. He's beginning to get it and believe in himself.
He, of course, Sean Newcomb, who threw 108 pitches over 6 scoreless innings, a 2-hit ball with 6 strikeouts. And he picked up win number 3. High fly ball by Miller toward left. Acuna near the line, backs up, can't make the play. And Miller's going to make his way to second base as Acuna couldn't corral that fly ball in the left field corner. So his first error puts Miller at second base to start the inning.
I'm assuming he tracked it all the way and saw it. In this ballpark, you never know. But a drastic change in direction there for that ball that went over his head. If I've seen anything about Acuna in the outfield that I don't like, it's that he drifts on balls. He does not run to a spot where he thinks it's going to come down. He just kind of glides over and gets there at the same time the ball does.
Same kind of play we saw in New York.
Yes.
Where he made the catch for the final out of that game. So here's Ramos, hottest hitter on the Rays club with a 15-game streak. Another man that's seen Julio quite a bit. So a 2-base error has Miller at second. Ramos, Wendell, and Gomez coming up. And foul back out of play. Ramos extended his hitting streak to 15 games in his last at bat, something he's done quite a bit during this nice run. He's done it 3 times.
We had a broken bat base hit off of Vizcaíno last night to start the inning. And a lot of the things he does reminds me so much of Andres Galarraga. He's not quite as open in his stance, but similar and big and strong like the big cat.
Well, they call him the Big Buffalo.
Rightfully so. 260.
Strike. One ball, 2 strikes for Ramos. And Julio heats him up. One of Joe's keys, the use of his fastball. That was perfectly placed, and Tehran's got 3 strikeouts, 1 away.
Upstairs, high target by Tyler, delivered right where his glove was.
So second baseman Joey Wendell's coming up. Wendell's in the throes of an 0 for 16 slide. Julio drops that one in for a strike. Wendell starts action tonight. 3rd in the American League rookie batting average department. Shohei Ohtani is first for the Angels. Gleyber Torres tied with him at 333. He's with the Yankees. And that one way high for an even count.
And another guy joining a list of guys who choose to hit without batting gloves. He does have some crisscross tape on his bat handle, though. That helps for grip.
One ball, 1 strike. A little late.
He's doing this with an 88-mile-an-hour fastball. That's what he used to strike out Ramos, who chased a high one.
Wendell grew up in eastern Pennsylvania. Big Phillies fan. Chase Utley, not surprisingly, one of his favorite players. Julio's got him behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 on, 1 out. A very left-hand hitting second baseman, and you are from Pennsylvania, and you don't like Chase Utley? Yeah, they're kicking you out of the state.
That's blasphemous right there.
Now the 2-2. Lifted to the left side. That might be playable for Culberson. He's near the warning track. A lot of foul ground. He makes the play. So Wendell pops out. And now Julio is an out away from pitching around the 2-base error to start the second.
Well, when Acuna comes to the dugout, the first thing that Eric Young's going to ask him is, did you lose it? If you lost it in the ceiling, then pretty much all is forgiven.
So here's Gomez hitting .202 with 45 strikeouts. And that's taken high. 1 ball, no strikes. Asks for an appeal, didn't swing. 2 balls, no strikes. Gomez has struck out in almost 34% of his plate appearances this year. He struck out 24% of the time last year. But he's ahead in the count here with 2 outs. Fastball for Tehran. 2 balls and a strike.
Big guy, strong guy, very athletic still, and definitely swings for the fences. Virtually every swing, no matter what the count.
Julio ready. Now the 2-1 pitch. Was late. We are seeing a lot of late swings and misses for Tehran. Not just tonight, Joe, but the last 2, 3, 4 starts.
Yeah, and not throwing it over 89 miles an hour. He was hitting 91 on occasion in New York.
Now the 2-2 is popped out of play. Great catch off to our right. Fan in the front row of the upper deck. Julio had a 1-2-3 first. That has been his most difficult inning. Got a runner at second. 2 outs with a 1-0 lead here in the Rays second.
Got away with that one upstairs, but that's where he went to get Ramos. It's kind of hard to, even when you get ahead of Gomez, to know where to go because he doesn't have a strike zone.
Right.
He's hacking at everything you throw.
Another 2-2 pitch. And that one got away. Miller will move up to third base.
Looked like a passed ball. He's scoring that a wild pitch.
So Miller 90 feet away. It's a full count for Gomez. Malik Smith, the former Brave, is on deck. to change the scoring on that play. It's a passed ball, not a wild pitch. Delivery. Popped him up. Who wants it? Culberson and Flowers. Charlie says, I got it. And what a job by Tehran to pitch around the two-base error to start the inning. Atlanta 1, Tampa Bay nothing. Charlie Culberson leads off the third.
Nothing. Eric Young talking to Acuna through Ozzie Albies, trying to find out what happened on that, and satisfied that either he lost it in the roof or just overran it. Whatever the answer was, EY was satisfied with the communication.
And no harm, no foul. That's the best news of all, as Braves still lead by a run with Charlie Culberson set to lead off. Yarbrough got some bad luck behind him. The Rays defense didn't help him any. Braves cashed in the game's only run. And Charlie fouls one back. A swinging strike for the Braves third baseman, who had a fifth inning triple last night. That led off the fifth inning. Braves couldn't bring him in though. Charlie's starting to pick up his share of hits. And he's got another one here. Bolt right back through the box.
Again, more bats leads to a little more success and certainly more confidence, and that's what we're seeing with Charlie Culberson and batting in the 9th spot. He leads it off for the top of the order.
Which means it's Ozzie Albies' time. Speaking of that 9th spot in the order, Brian Snitker in his press scrum before the game today said when the Braves get back to National League play in Miami, he'll probably use a traditional lineup. Pitcher hitting 9th rather than 8th. As that one's ripped into left field on the first pitch. Culberson will slam on the brakes, and the Braves have something cooking. 2 on, nobody out.
First pitch swinging again. Looked like he got something off speed upstairs and didn't miss it. Probably a fastball, but certainly let her high.
Well, at the very least, Acuna wants to advance these runners. He'd love to bring him in himself, but he struck out looking in the opening inning. Second time through the order for Yarbrough now. And that's off the mask of Ramos. Strike 1.
You know, Chip, and this isn't meant to be critical because I don't know. I'm actually kind of asking the question about this, a bullpen game. It's not like the starters for the Rays have been going 9 innings every night, so their bullpen hadn't had any work. It's not like they need the work. So what's the purpose? What is it accomplishing?
I think Acuna was just hit on the hand by that pitch. Called immediately by Adam Hamari, and the Braves have him loaded with nobody out.
Didn't look like a direct hit either. Looked like it grazed him. Let's hope so. And off the knob of the bat.
Ramos is looking in at the Rays dugout to see if that should have been a foul ball.
You can see his reaction. It pinched him a little.
So no challenge, and here's exactly what you want to see. Bases loaded for Freddie Freeman and nobody out. Big chance for a crooked number for Atlanta here in the third. High fly ball hit towards shallow left.
Not much of an arm.
Span with the catch. Culberson tags the throw way off target, and Freeman has an RBI. It's 2-0 Braves. .26 RBIs for Freddie, and the Braves add on, and now Nick Markakis the hitter. And now a trip to the mound. Kyle Snyder, the Rays pitching coach. You just mentioned that Yarbrough went 5 innings in relief in his last outing. I don't know the answer as to why they are using so many bullpen games. One of the reasons is Eovaldi, a guy they were counting on as being one of their starters, is hurt and is on his way back.
Okay, so why isn't there another guy filling that spot as a starter? You can say, well, they don't have anybody that's used to starting. Okay, and that's my question, really. Why is there not someone? Do they not have anyone in AAA that they could use for spot starts? I don't know the answer to that because, quite frankly, I don't know the Rays organization well enough to be able to say, here's what they should be doing, or surprisingly, this is what they are doing when they have so-and-so in their system. So it's unusual. I'm sure it's something that makes total sense to Kevin Cash and his staff. Just different.
Nick Markakis the batter. 1 in, 1 out, 2 on. The outside. Well, you know who's in rotation? Chris Archer. Faria's in rotation. He started 7 times, and we saw Snell make his 8th. Eovaldi would be the 4th.
They had Chirinos too.
Regular starter, and Chirinos is hurt.
Yeah.
That's another reason why. Bouncing ball toward Miller at first, but that's a foul ball. And the count's even 1-1. But it's an interesting experiment. I mean, we've talked a lot about how differently bullpens are used throughout baseball, especially the last couple of years with Andrew Miller and his great work with Cleveland and the Yankees. Maybe this is an experiment that Tampa Bay is going to try and see if they have some success with it.
I'm not assuming that tonight is a bullpen game either. This guy worked 5 innings out of the bullpen his last time out. Maybe he's their new 5th guy.
Could be. He's making his 2nd start. And maybe he's the most stretched out guy they've got after going 5 innings against Toronto. But you take away those 5 innings, that's 8, make it 7 appearances, 19 innings. So he's been a 2-inning guy most of the time for Tampa Bay. He's in his 3rd inning tonight. High fly ball, wallop deep right field. Markakis launches a 3-run homer. There's some launch angle for you. It's 5-0 Braves in the 3rd inning.
Fastball missed the spot, supposed to be away. It was on the inside. And that was launched because it was connected out front.
5-0 Atlanta in the 3rd. And here's Bautista. Goes down a quick strike. And he shoots one down the line in right. That ball slicing into the seats and out of play, strike 2.
Let's take a look at the point of contact here. Fastball in, hands in, and the point of contact was well out in front of him, separated even away from his body. If you're looking at it from that side angle, the ball wasn't even into his body yet. It was well out in front.
So a big 4-run inning for the Braves, and now Bautista shoots one on the ground foul. Left side this time. It's 0-2.
7 home runs for Nick Markakis, 28 RBIs. He's now the team leader in ribbies.
And he continues to crush left-handed pitching, 2 for 2 tonight. And that's downstairs, 1-2 for the Braves' designated hitter, Jose Bautista. So plenty of breathing room for Julio Teheran now. He's got a 5-run lead. And Bautista fooled with that pitch. Strikeout number 3 for Yarborough, 2 outs.
I'll tell you another reason that was such a big blow by Nick is that bases loaded, nobody out, and Freddie comes through with a sacrifice fly. Okay, you got 1 in, but there's a real good chance you may not get any more. You could get a ground ball double play and end the inning and feel like that was a win if you're Yarborough. So Nick took care of that.
That was one of the questions we had about the Braves team coming into this year, Joe. How much power would Atlanta have, right?
Right.
That's the 41st homer the Braves have hit this year. The Braves have given up just 29. It's a nice ratio. As Flowers didn't get it, a swing and a miss, 0-2. And so those 41 homers for the Braves. First the pitch cut on and missed. Has them enjoying a happy visit to the Sunshine State so far. Atlanta 4 runs in the 3rd inning, a sac fly and a long 3-run homer for Nick Markakis. After 2.5, Braves rolling in game 2.
This is a beautiful example of what he's talking about. Launch angles relative to the point of contact, getting the ball out front. I see the guy standing up on the rail in the background. This ball's made contact really in line with him, and Nick had to even bow his right arm just a little bit to get the barrel to it, but that's well out in front, and that's why that ball was launched. Extension.
Gorgeous left-handed swing. As Malik Smith leads off against Julio Teheran, who can pump fastballs in with a 5-0 lead. Malik's off to a great start at the plate, hitting .330. 8 multi-hit games for him. And look at the on-base percentage. Great speed. But sometimes questionable decision making on the base pass.
Yeah, but it's a little surprising he's not their leadoff guy. instead of batting in the bottom of the order. He went from Atlanta to Seattle in the deal that brought Luis Gohara to the Braves, but he didn't stay in Atlanta a whole day. They turned around and flipped him to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Seattle. Right,
Seattle did.
Yeah, yeah. I guess he didn't like salmon. That's my only guess.
That could be.
11 infield hits for Smith. He's gotten on base in 6 of his last plate appearances. And getting a chance to play almost every day here with the Rays in St. Pete.
Great kid. Great kid, great family. Got to know them. Came to the Braves from the Padres.
Strike 3. Julio pulled a string.
Boy, Julio knew it too.
He's got 4 strikeouts, Joe, and he's 1 out into his 3rd inning of work.
Yeah, he struck out 6 in that 7-inning stint against the Mets, but a beautiful backdoor slider framed nicely by Tyler. High of 91. And sitting around 88, 89.
Daniel Robertson's the batter. He's the Rays shortstop. And that's out of play. Strike 1. Speaking of Gohara, he is with the big league club. He's going to work out of the Braves bullpen initially. But Brian Snitker was very clear that the ultimate long-range plans for Luis Gohara is as a starting pitcher. In the air to right at Markakis, who backpedals and puts it away. 2 outs. So Julio's through the Rays order for the first time without allowing a base hit. He's had a base runner out on a 2-base error. So 2 up, 2 down. Here's Span. He struck him out in the first inning and extended at bat, but Denard swung and missed. Pitching like Julio is, you can see how quickly he wants to get back to work. There's no wasted time. He's got his sign. He just has to wait for Span to dig in. Lifted toward left. Acuna on the run, sprinting near the line. He's going to dive and make the grab in foul ground. Julio loved that. Great running, sprawling catch by Ronald Acuna to take care of Denard Span and Tampa Bay in their scoreless half of the 3rd.
5-0 in this one, top of the fourth. In case you missed it earlier, we talked about Kevin Seitzer's and Seitzer metrics and how he determined quality plate appearances. And as you can see, top of that list, Freddie Freeman, 538 average with that big sac fly, Acuna, and how about my man Nick Markakis with the big 3-run homer. Guys, back to you.
Big innings are always fun, Paul. And 4 across last inning for Kevin Seitzer's bomb squad. Nick Markakis, the 3-run homer, part of his 2 for 2 night. And now in the Atlanta fourth, Ender Inciarte gets started. He has an RBI hit 2, snapping his 0 for 19 run at the plate.
First of 3 hits tonight.
There's number 2. Isn't it funny how one can just totally change your demeanor at the plate? He looks like a different guy.
If you're somebody who wrestles, and I mean wrestles, with lack of success like Ender does, because he is a good player and he does not like being part of the party. It's one thing to contribute defensively, which he always does, but you want to be part of the offensive onslaught whenever it is, and it eats him up. So he's relaxed.
And now he's at first for Johan Camargo, who was out on a check swing strike. Braves had scored 11 runs in their previous 5 games. They've got 5 runs through the first 3 innings tonight. That's on a play over the Rays' pen down the right field line. It's an even count. Most pitches Yarbrough's thrown this year's 88. That was on April 15th against the Phillies. He's at 57 pitches now. I'm sure the Rays would love to get him through this 4th inning with no further damage done. Now back, and Camargo behind 1 and 2. Yarbrough worked a 1-2-3 first. Gave up a 2nd inning run on Ender's first hit of the night. Braves now have 6 hits. A good lead by Ender at first, and he'll draw a throw. Love how the Braves are running the bases. 26 stolen bases so far this year. Not just steals. They're going first to third with reckless abandon. Braves are playing baseball. They are not a 3-outcome team offensively.
How many caught stealing, Andrew? Do you have that?
I do. Let me find it for you here.
Well, for the team, I'm sorry.
Yeah, for the team, the Braves are 26 of 35. Caught 9 times.
Okay.
He's running. Swing and a miss. Ball dropped by Ramos. Easy steal. Was it fouled, or are they going to say there was interference? I guess Camargo interfered with Ramos on the swing, so Ender's going to have to go back to first base.
That's too bad. Top end comes off.
He'd already dropped the ball.
Yeah, he may have made contact with Ramos, and that's obvious that he had hit him in the back, but he'd already dropped it.
So it's backswing interference after the ball was 3 feet behind Ramos. So Ender's going to run on the next pitch, and that throw sails. And a collision at second base. Everybody's all right. And Inciarte has the 2nd steal of the night for Atlanta. Braves with 27 stolen bases. The only team in the National League with more is Washington.
Great crossover step. Throw was off target. Base stealers are now 13 for 13 against Ramos. Surprising.
Well, a hit means a run, perhaps. Charlie's got a hit and a run scored himself. Ender with a 3 stolen base lead over Trey Turner of Washington at the start of action tonight, and including his 2 so far here in game 2. And the pitch won't be made. Ender's dancing around at second base.
When players watch video, base stealers watch tendencies of pitchers just like you would watch their pitches and how they might pitch to you. Especially when they don't know a pitcher, they may go back and try to find some video, like that 5-inning stint he had against the Blue Jays, to see if he was very preoccupied with the runner, especially at second. Is he a 1-look guy? Is he a 2-look guy?
Well, with 15 stolen bases, Ender Inciarte has as many or more stolen bases than 13 major league teams so far this year. And he's got a big lead. The pitch. Charlie had a good cut, didn't get it. 2-2. Oakland has the fewest stolen bases this year. Miami is second. Oakland has stolen 7. Miami 8.
That's surprising for Miami.
And Yarbrough very concerned with Ender out at second base here.
If there were 2 out, it might not be a big deal, but with 1 out, if he steals third, then that's a little easier way to get him in.
And he stole third for his first swipe tonight. Wendell's trying to keep him close. Not going, and a line drive hit towards Span in left. And he'll jump and make the catch for the second out. And Ozzie Albies will be the hitter. Charlie hit it hard, but he's 1 for 2. And now we're back to the top of the order. All of a sudden, Joe, the Braves lineup starting to flow again when it was so very good on our last road trip. Ozzie has been very aggressive with runners in scoring position, as you see on our Georgia lottery feature.
The team leading the National League, 2 out hits, most in the major leagues, and the best average against left-handers. We talked about that at the outset tonight.
Popped up. Long run Miller near the stands, near the Rays bullpen, and he makes the play, and that retires the side. Braves get a leadoff hit, can't bring him home. 5-0, middle of the 4th inning. Really like catching coach Saul Fasano, who's been working with pitchers and catchers on the importance of counts, and they are pounding that home, and they know that now.
First pitch, extremely important. If it's a strike, the hitter's slugging drops 350 percentage points, but specifically the 1-1 pitch and how important that is. Guys, there's an 80% difference in the hitter's batting average. Last night's game, there was 13 1-1 counts. 2 of them went to 2-1. 11 were either put in play or went to 1-2. One of the reasons why the Braves pitching has been successful.
Well, it's worked so far for Julio tonight, Paul. He's set down the last 6 in order. And he's got the 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up for the Rays in the 4th inning. Cron, Duffy, and Miller.
That's why there's such an emphasis on strike one. Put the hitter on the defensive right away, even if they're not defensive.
Sharply hit and under the glove of Camargo into left field. So that's the first hit for the Rays in the game. A ringing single by C.J. Cron.
Even if they're not defensive, they're still put on notice to swing the bat.
So the second time for Tampa Bay to put their leadoff guy on. Here's Duffy, who popped out in the opening inning. Julio's thrown strike one 7 of 11 times. Braves last night turned 3 double plays. How about one here for Julio? That would be nice. Ball 1 outside. So from a hitter's perspective, ball 1 versus strike 1. I know Tom Glavine has said he didn't care about ball 1 or strike 1. He cared about 2 strikes after 3 pitches.
Right. And you accomplish the same thing. But from a hitter's perspective, you're ahead in the count. You feel like you're going to get a better pitch to hit. If you're 0-1, not so much. But you don't have the luxury of sitting around waiting for a 2-0 or 3-1 count necessarily.
1 ball, 1 strike. And now 2-1 for Duffy. Brave starters have thrown 30 consecutive scoreless innings on the road. And a laser into the seats to the right side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Braves had a 30-inning run of scoreless work on the road in 1992. They've equaled that with Julio's start tonight. Two balls, 2 strikes. Cron leads at first. And another late swing foul. .53 pitches for Julio. Duffy 0 for 4 in the series. He has struck out 3 times. Julio's got 2 strikes on him here. And the pitch is line down the left field line. That's trouble and into the corner. And a fan reaches over, didn't touch it. Acuna got to it quickly, and the Rays are in business. 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. Duffy with a double, his 5th of the year.
Something tailing back into Duffy on that particular delivery. Second time through the order for Julio.
Miller was left at 3rd base in the 2nd after the 2-base error and left. And that's in for a strike. You have to respect the fact that this guy's had some power before, and he could make things a little tight with a long ball here. In 2016, as Joe said last night, he hit 30 home runs. He's hit 12 since, including 9 last year.
Yeah, his career high I think was 11 before the 30.
That's correct. Miller, another Central Florida kid out of Orlando, Olympia High School. The pitch is lifted out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Miller went to Clemson. His big league career in the Seattle organization. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Strike 3 had him backing away from a belt high fastball, and Miller didn't think much of that call from Adam Hamari. Julio has his 5th strikeout.
He raised his hands up on the very first pitch that was right down the middle. This fastball again at the top of the zone. And raising his hands up on a pitch that wasn't that far inside, if at all. But again, Hamari has been consistent on a high strike tonight. Big out.
Now Ramos, the hitter, he struck out in the 2nd. 2 on, 1 out. 5-0 Atlanta. And Ramos reaching for that ball, sprays it out of play. Strike 1.
This guy had good luck against Julio from his days in Washington. 4 for 11 with a homer.
At the knees, a perfect pitch.
A bad knee injury that required surgery cost him a lot of money in free agency. Looked like it's right at the knees. Boy, yeah, beauty.
A 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Julio went up and got him again. Back-to-back strikeouts.
High target, high delivery, high anxiety and frustration from Ramos.
And one more man to get to keep the shutout bid alive here in the 4th. It's Wendell who popped out. He's 0 for his last 17. Lifted out of play for a strike. Crone led off with a single. Duffy doubled. Miller and Ramos struck out. Rays runners still at 2nd and 3rd. And no 1 count for the Rays' second baseman. Up the middle, played perfectly. Camargo loads up and throws him out. What a job by Tehran. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, and the Rays can't hit the ball out of the infield. Amazing. 5-0 Atlanta. Streak and compete to win $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today in the App Store or on MLB.com/BTS. Fifth inning. It's a 5-0 Atlanta lead. Fifth inning presented by Audi. It's Acuna, Freeman, and Markakis coming up. Acuna has struck out. He's been hit by a pitch and he has scored.
Yarbrough has set down 5 of the last 6 since the home run.
Making his second career start against the Braves. They have an amazing stat in their notes as Acuna chased in, didn't get it. There's strikeout number 6. Yarbrough tonight is making the 594th consecutive start by the Rays by a starting pitcher under 30 years of age. So they truly have had homegrown, young, learn-on-the-fly pitchers throughout the history of their organization and certainly the last couple of years. He was fortunate to miss their anchor, Chris Archer. They were fortunate to scratch a run across against Blake Snell, who has a very promising future. He was really impressive on a night when he said he didn't have his best stuff. He only gave up 1 run, but took the loss.
Very impressive. Chris Archer, on the other hand, though, a 5.32 ERA. That's extremely high for him.
One ball, 2 strikes. For Freddie Freeman, who knocked in his 26th run with a 3rd inning sacrifice fly. Nick Markakis followed with a long homer.
Getting in a rhythm now. He's feeling pretty good.
Freddie reached and didn't get it. That's 7 strikeouts for this young man. Not bad for a guy that's a spot starter, but maybe trying to lay claim to a job here in St. Pete. 2 outs.
Yeah, the way he pitched in Toronto kind of made him the obvious guy to work tonight. He may be trying to move himself into the rotation despite 5 runs tonight. Like I said, since the home run, he's been sharp.
Out of Old Dominion and Lakeland, Florida. If I'm not mistaken, Old Dominion is Justin Verlander territory. 1 ball, no strikes for Nick Markakis. He's 2 for 2. Braves tonight are trying to win their 7th consecutive road game.
A different arm angle from Yarbrough then. He dropped down some on Nick.
2-1 pitch. Down the inside corner. Last time the Braves won 7 straight on the road during a single year was 2009.
That was a while back.
It was. We're getting kind of used to seeing records broken on almost daily basis. Great play at third. Duffy took away a hit. And Yarbrough ought to applaud Matt Duffy's great work at the hot corner. 3 up, 3 down. We're halfway through in St. Pete. in St. Pete. Our Chevy dealers game summary tells you all you need to know in game 2.
Yeah, the big blow of Markakis' 3-run homer, but Ender snapped out of a bad 0 for spell with a couple of hits. And Julio, last inning, outstanding. Second, third, nobody out. Kept them from scoring.
That almost hit Gomez. Julio and the Braves working on 31 consecutive innings pitched without a run allowed on the road. He scattered a couple of hits. Julio has struck out 6 in 4 innings. He's got a 5-run lead. And action has begun in the Tampa bullpen after Yarborough worked his way through a 1-2-3 fifth.
And Andrisi.
How about that swing?
68 miles an hour. Look at Carlos. Julio won't look at him.
The pitch. Let's see if he sets up that breaking ball again.
I don't think he's smiling now.
No.
Only the second full count of the night for Julio.
And over the screen, out of play. Base is empty for Carlos Gomez. Here it is. And a ground ball hit Dazzi. A step or two to his left. And Julio gets his man for the first out.
One of the guys we haven't talked about in this brief 2-game set is Kevin Kiermaier. Such a great defender in center field who has been hurt the last 2 years and on the shelf again this year.
One of the great defenders in the major leagues. And a guy that's just fearless, throwing his body into the turf up against the wall. Kiermaier's torn a ligament in his right thumb. He's missed 18 games with that injury. He's on the 60-day disabled list. That's hammered down the right field line, and that's fair. That'll bounce off the wall. Markakis will have to chase it down in a hurry as Malix makes his way to second base. Almost missed second base, but stands there with 1 out. His 5th double.
That was a good turn on one. Quick. Target down and in. It was belt high and in. That doesn't carry him off the wall right behind the pitcher's mound down there. He's probably got a triple.
Getting men on has not been a problem for Tampa Bay. Getting them in of late has been. Smith is the 4th base runner tonight for the Rays. They've had 27 base runners in the last 2.5 games. They've scored 1 run in those 2.5 affairs. So a chance for Robertson to bring home Alex Smith.
Hit the ball hard his first time up. Back Nick up in right field.
No balls and a strike. Big lead by Malix at second. And somehow he got out of the way of that.
Alex Smith has swiped 8 bases. He's been caught 4 times. The odd part about it is that 3 of the 4 caught stealings have been at home plate, trying to steal home, including one a few days ago where he was out by over 10 feet, and that was not on a double steal.
1 ball, 1 strike. Robertson didn't get it. It's 1-2.
Another one of those slow breaking pitches. He doesn't throw it a lot, but he's using it effectively when he does.
Now the 1-2. And into the seats yet again. Julio's got to get through 5 to qualify for the win. He needs 2 outs to do that.
2-to-1 strike to ball ratio, outstanding.
Now the 1-2 pitch. Now Julio has one he likes. And it's lifted into shallow right. Long run. Markakis sprinting near the line. He's going to get there and make the catch. And he gets the ball in quickly, just in case Malik Smith thought about moving up 90 feet. That's a big second out. And now Julio faces Denard Span with Malik Smith still at second base.
See, Albies was way back behind the bag, so no way he was going to get there. Nick calling for it to get Freddie out of the way. Well done.
So Span 0 for 2. He struck out and flied out. Sharply hit, and Ozzie surrounds it at second. The shutout streak continues. 32 consecutive innings.
I'd say Julio's been pretty good out of the stretch tonight.
No doubt about it. Rays strand their 4th runner. It's 5-0 Braves.
Hats off for heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
Time for the 6th inning. Braves 5, Rays nothing. Those are the cow-nosed Rays out in the Ray tank above the wall in right center field. Hope you'll stay tuned for the middle of the 7th inning. The stretch is brought to you by your North Georgia Honda dealers. Matt Andriese is the new pitcher after 5 innings by Ryan Yarborough. Andriese out of Redlands, California. A former Padre acquired by Tampa Bay before the 2014 season. Ground ball by Bautista, right to the shortstop. And into the shift, he is retired. That's 6 straight Braves hitters set down by Tampa Bay tonight. Bautista is 0 for 3.
Andriese last year 5-5, 18 games, 17 of those were starts. A lot of strikeouts in his 86 innings pitched, 76 strikeouts. 1 start this year. Good breaking ball. Got a good slider. Fastball in the low 90s. Changeup, curveball. Throw a cutter too. That may have been a cutter. It was a big one.
Andriese went to high school with Tyler Chatwood. Pretty good pitcher in his own right. 2 balls and a strike for Tyler Flowers, and that's fouled at the plate. 2-2. While we have a moment, want to send out a quick word of encouragement. Get well soon wishes for a big Braves fan, Benji Bailey, 14 years old. He had some very unexpected surgery today. He and his family are watching the game at Eggleston Hospital, and everybody with the Braves, Benji hopes it's a very speedy recovery.
You're here.
Get well soon and come see us. The pitch. Strike 3 called at the knees. Flowers is retired. 2 up, 2 down. And here's Ender. My partner Joe Stradamus predicted 3 hits. He's 2/3 of the way there in his first 2 trips. RBI and 2 steals to boot.
Yeah, he was excited. Get on base. Now he can run.
Mentioned earlier, Brian Snitker said he plans on using the more traditional National League lineup when the Braves get down to Miami. It's interesting to see where Ender hits. As much success as Albies has had hitting first. A lot of great options for the Braves manager as he constructs 1 through 8. Balls, 2 strikes. Oh, and 2 out. Base is empty. Here it is. And lifted down the left field line. Span will give chase. No chance to get that.
Nice catch.
That was a great catch.
Another thing a couple of hits will do for you is not make you panic when you're behind in the count. All of a sudden you feel like you're back to your old self and a little more patient waiting for pitches when you're behind.
Good try, but clearly off the plate. It's 1-2. Popped up. Duffy in foul ground is there to make the play. And Andriese greets the Braves with a 1-2-3 top of the 6th. Julio has 32 straight scoreless innings working for the Braves staff. Best feature presented by Old Dominion, the official freight carrier of Major League Baseball.
And we want to welcome the Old Dominion Freight Lines to the broadcast. Good timing with this modern franchise record. 32 consecutive scoreless innings on the road, 34 punch-outs. Old Dominion knows something about the road.
And so do the Braves, trying to win their 7th consecutive game away from SunTrust Park. And now we'll see what's up the sleeve of Julio Teheran here. Last inning or so, he started to show that slow breaking ball, something that he didn't have in his quiver the first 3 innings. Something else for these Rays hitters to think about as he goes through their lineup a 3rd time. It's downstairs for Cron, and the count 2-1. "32 consecutive road scoreless innings pitched. That is remarkable." The 2-1 pitch. Out straight back.
Well, he does have a cut, doesn't he?
He knows how to hit 16 home runs. The Rays are hoping he can figure out how to hit 25 or more. He's got 7 so far this season. And now Julio's 2-2 pitch is lifted to right. Park's going to hold that. Nick hardly had to move. 1 out. The other great part about this streak for the Braves is it takes so much pressure off your offense, I would think, Joe, knowing you just need to score 1 or 2 runs to have a chance to win the ball game, as we saw last night.
I think it works both ways, Chip. On the road, last road trip.
There's a shot up the middle by Duffy. Wasn't going to get to 2 strikes. So he has 2 hits tonight.
Julio unhappy with himself on that too. But remember, on the last road trip, the Braves were scoring a ton of runs in the 1st and 2nd inning and taking pressure off the pitchers, allowing them to make a mistake or 2.
Julio got a 2nd inning run to play with, and the Braves put 4 on the board in the 3rd, and Julio's been going strike after strike since. Here's Miller. He's 0 for 2. Double play ball would be nice. It's off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes.
Double play that Albies and Camargo turned last night, where Ozzie backhanded the flip to him, was one of the best we've seen all year in this regard, that with the runner bearing down on him, Ozzie, a lot of times the second baseman will run up and try to tag the guy, then throw to first. But he put all his trust in Camargo's arm, gave him a good feed, and let Johan do the rest. It was really pretty. Got to get Johan's bat going, though, and lead off the 7th.
Braves have turned 37 double plays. Only the Giants have got more double plays turned than Atlanta.
And certainly Dansby a big part of that too, before he got hurt.
Brian said before the game, no timetable for Dansby in his return. He's doing some baseball drills, but not really swinging the bat at this point. Here's the pitch, just fouled away, and Julio awkwardly spun off the mound after that delivery.
Here's that double play I was talking about. And I mean, a high, hard fastball from Camargo to Freddie to get that double play turned. Now with that wrist, you can't mess around and try to come back too soon.
2-2 pitch. And that's exactly what Brian said. The Braves want that to calm down completely before they even think about letting him do anything aggressively at all with a bat in his hands.
They need Swanson back, and they need him back healthy. not trying to come back at 60 or 70%.
Full count for Miller, the Rays first baseman. Turned on that one, didn't he? And we'll do it again, 3-2. Braves started action tonight, leading the National League East. What a great race it's turning out to be. Phillies a half game back. Washington a game and a half back. The Mets 2 back. But the Mets were beaten today in extra innings by the Reds. Somewhat, shall we say, unconventional fashion. The pitch. Swing and a miss.
Good change.
Beauty. Second out of the inning. There's apparently a lineup card mix-up by the Mets that Jim Riggleman caught as the Red skipper. And after his Drupal Cabrera doubled, Riggleman pointed out that the lineup was out of order. The double was taken away and the Mets lost by a run.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. That is.
So that great start by the Mets. They're 11-1, 12-2. It is vanishing quickly. Bouncing ball hit to second. Albies has it. Throw to first in time. The streak lives on. It's 33 straight road innings without a run allowed. Atlanta 5, Rays nothing in game 2. Completed 6 innings of work. Stay tuned for the middle of the 7th inning. It's The Stretch, brought to you by your North Georgia Honda dealers.
I was hoping it'd go one more. He's got a 4-hit shutout working. He's actually been in his best tonight out of the stretch. I don't know what his pitch count was. It was under 100. I know that. 93, I'm told.
So Andres sprays one in front of the plate for Johan Camargo, leading off the 7th. Johan has struck out twice tonight. 3 times in 6 at-bats in the series. He's 0 for his last 13. His last hit came in the 2nd inning on May the 4th. Sam Freeman is the first Braves reliever to get loose tonight. And Johan get that one.
Really pulled off that. It's almost like he needs to get jammed a time or two. Stay on the ball a little bit longer, both left and right-handed. There you go.
To left, Span coming on, sliding grab, robs Camargo.
Tough break there, but that was a good swing. Old hitting coach once said that if you're not getting jammed once in a while, then you're not swinging the bat right. And he almost dropped that one in.
Well, Charlie's bat got hot when he had a little dribbler for a hit. Don't know if he got jammed or not on that swinging roller. I think it was back in Atlanta. Triple last night, a single and a run scored tonight. And a strike.
Andriese is throwing hard, 92. I think I said Andriese earlier. I apologize for that.
I was proud of you for not saying Andretti. We had a Yarborough.
Good point.
In the game.
Man.
If Kyle Kendrick had been here, we'd have been in big trouble.
Oh, mercy. Gentlemen, start your arms.
No balls, 2 strikes. 5-0 Atlanta. Nick Markakis a 3-run homer. Ciarte and Freeman the other RBIs. And Ramos tried to frame that one, didn't get the call. It's 1-2. Up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And Reese really throws across his body too. Steps toward the third baseline more than a direct line to home plate.
Swing and a miss. 11 straight Braves hitters have been retired by the Rays. And Reese has his second strikeout, and everybody's happy who came to the ballpark. They have a free taco promotion if they get to 9 or more strikeouts. Here's Ozzie. He's 1 for 3 with a run. We'll get our first look at the Marlins tomorrow night. Here's something fun to think about. Imagine if Ozzie Albies or Ronald Acuna split the gaps at Marlins Park and how far they'll be able to run, assuming they can make contact. Marlins were beaten by the Cubs today. They're 13-23 on the year. Mike Foltynewicz and Caleb Smith will meet in Game 1 at Marlins Park tomorrow.
Smith coming off a great outing. Another left-hander.
Brandon McCarthy and Dan Straley work on Friday. Mike Soroka and Harlan Garcia and Newcomb and Arena on Sunday. That'll be a treat.
Here's something unusual. The count goes to 2 strikes. Usually you play a guy the other way with 2 strikes. They're playing Ozzie more to pull.
And he hits it right into that shift. So good scouting by Tampa Bay. 3 up, 3 down, 12 up, 12 down. But Atlanta leads 5-0. Time for the stretch. Let's send it back to Atlanta with the Braves in command here in St. Pete.
Tehran is out of the game, 6 shutout innings. That's 13 scoreless in his last 2 starts.
Yeah, it's awesome work. Turn it over to Sam Freeman to start. He last worked against the Giants 3 days ago. 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, but no runs. Struck out the side.
The other part of Julio's night, no walks. Against Tampa Bay, a club he has never faced. Cleveland and Houston are the only other 2 big league teams Julio's not started against. Atlanta in command, leading 5-0 as that one bounces up there from Freeman for Joey Wendell. Leading off, Gomez and Smith to follow. Wonderful to see Gohara in this game. Luis was just brought up. As Freeman gets ready with his 2-0. Splits the plate, 2 balls and a strike.
I think it's possible.
And that one down and away. The Rays bullpen was screaming because the ball got away. But time was not called, so that pitch will count. 3-1. Yeah, he heard that shouting. Well, maybe time was called because the board says 2 balls and a strike. I didn't see it from Adam Hamari. Doesn't matter. Now it's 3-1. Julio was rolling along, 6 innings, a 4-hit ball. The Braves take him down. And the 3-1 pitch is right there, full count. Julio's next start appears to be the makeup game against the Cubs at Wrigley, which is coming up on Monday afternoon. Strike 3 over the outside corner. Nice comeback for Freeman.
Burned that outside corner. Good pitch.
So far so good for the Braves bullpen in the month of May. That's 25 innings, 21 hits, 27 strikeouts. More importantly, Joe, just 9 walks.
Isn't that a bonus?
Here's Gomez. He's popped out and grounded out. Not a big fan of the golden shoes of Carlos Gomez.
No.
All those strikes. I know they go with the sunburst that's on the Tampa Bay hats, so there's a little bit of yellow there, but
that's a ray.
Oh, that's right, the sun ray. Yeah.
They've got fish out there too, but it's the sun ray.
It's the sun ray, not the cow-nosed ray.
No.
It was originally the Devil Rays. Vince Namoli wanted the Stingrays to be the name here.
Which I thought would have been a great name.
That's in for a strike. Didn't they have a minor league team, the Tampa Tarpon?
He did.
Would have been good too. But the team's not playing in Tampa. I guess that makes it somewhat of a problem. But they may be someday. They're talking about a new stadium over in Ybor City. That's in for a strike at the knees, full count. Part of the downtown Tampa Bay area, the hope being that they would recruit lure fans from Lakeland and Orlando and be a much bigger regional franchise than here in St. Pete. And we're told the Tarpon was a Yankee minor league affiliate, and they still are. 3-2 pitch. Lifted toward right. Markakis glides to the line. He'll have no trouble with that. Gomez is the second out.
And fires his helmet down. upset over not getting a ball 4 call. Can't believe that helmet didn't splinter. Uniform changes, other things don't.
2 outs from Alex Smith, who has struck out and doubled. Let's see how he does against the lefty here. A little late.
He's actually hitting pretty well against left-handed pitching. Talked about that last night. It was a bit of a surprise why he wasn't in there against Sean Newcomb. 391.
I'd say that's better than
Yeah.
just okay.
9 for 23.
1-1 pitch. So Freeman's a strike away from sending it to 34 consecutive road scoreless innings pitched for the Braves. And now the 1-2 swing and a miss. Smith flips the helmet off, drops the bat. 2 strikeouts for Sam Freeman, and we're off to the 8th.
Fox Sports Southeast is presented by your local Chevy dealer, Georgia Drive Chevy. Find new roads. Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. And by Delta Airlines.
Beautiful night in St. Pete under the dome here at Tropicana Field. And the Braves enjoying a 5-0 lead. Andrew Kittredge has taken the mound. He's the 3rd Tampa Bay pitcher to work tonight. He'll face Acuna, Freeman, and Markakis.
He too came from the Mariners. His 11th game, as you see. 6'1", 235. 28 years old. Went to the University of Washington.
So he truly is a Husky.
Yeah. Yeah. Born in Spokane.
Skips up there for Acuna. 1 ball, 1 strike. Couple of strikeouts for Acuna. He's also been hit by a pitch. Tip your cap to the Rays after the 4-run 3rd inning outburst. It's been slim pickings at the plate for the Braves since. Just 1 hit and 1 base runner since Markakis' home run. 12 straight Atlanta batters have been retired by Tampa Bay tonight.
He's got a good slider and he throws it a lot. More than he throws his fastball. And his fastball is low 90s.
Acuna flails and misses. That's a 3-strikeout game for Ronald. So one away in the Atlanta 8th. That brings up Freddie Freeman. He's our Yellowwood bringing the lumber feature.
Last 16 games, including tonight, great OPS, 10 extra base hits, 13 RBIs. One of those RBIs tonight on a sacrifice fly in the 4-run third inning. Came up with the bases loaded, nobody out.
That's a strike for Freddie Freeman. 0-for-2 with a sac fly.
Going pretty soft on Freddie on just about everything. Purpose pitch to keep him honest, and then let's see if they go back to something soft away.
Checked it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Freddie was caught looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for Kittredge. 14 straight set down. And Nick Markakis, the batter, looking for a 3-hit night tonight.
That one looked like it was going to sail up and out, and it didn't go anywhere but just hang right there.
Little roller bounced right to first. Miller is at the bag, makes the play, and Kittredge makes short work of the Braves in the 8th. 5-0 in game 2. Braves in front.
Your local Ford dealer, the Georgia Lottery, and by the All-South Highway Safety Team. The All-South Highway Safety Team reminds you to play it safe by always wearing your seatbelt.
Atlanta 5, Tampa Bay 0. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. 9-1-2 coming up for the Rays against Peter Moylan, the third Atlanta pitcher. Daniel Robertson leads off. He's 0 for 2. He's hit the ball to right twice.
Peter's not allowed a run in his last 4 outings, and only 2 hits.
Robertson is not trying out for the hammer toss for the U.S. Olympic team.
Off the netting behind the dugout, and Eric Young was heading for higher ground somewhere.
1 ball, 1 strike. Peter just missed inside. One strike for Daniel Robertson. See if Moylan can get another one here. 2-1 pitch. He did. 2-2. Crowd tonight 12,082. 12082. The Braves and Rays drew 15,382 last night. Peter with a long look in. Very good pitch. Robertson right on top of the plate. And he got him to swing and miss. Braves have struck out 10 Rays hitters in the game. 1 away. Fultonevich will be the man of the hour tomorrow night in game 1 against the Marlins. Denard Span 0 for 3, struck out in the first and shoots one the other way on the first pitch here in the 8th. So his first hit of the series brings up C.J. Cron. Cron's 1 for 3.
First time he hit face, Peter, also. And
tomorrow night, first look at the Marlins. The Braves were 11-8 against Miami last year, but that is a dramatically different looking club than the one we saw in 2017. We'll talk about that tomorrow night.
Well, you were talking about how they don't have many stolen bases. What surprises me is they've got Lewis Brinson, whom they got from Milwaukee in the deal for Yelich. He's hitting under 200, so he's not getting on much to run. Cameron Maybin's on the team.
Yep. Just haven't had their team together, such as it is, as Cron got jammed
right off the thumbs. They've had JT Realmuto leading off. He can run.
Right. And he's coming back from a bad back. I don't know if they want him running.
God, almost hit him.
No balls, 2 strikes for Cron. The pitch to him. Somehow he got a piece of that.
What was the catcher's name for the Pirates for years that led off?
Jason Kendall.
Jason Kendall. Yeah. It's the last guy I really remember leading off for a team and catching.
Well, the Marlins lowest batting average in the National League, second lowest on base percentage in the National League. They've stolen 8 bases, caught 6 times, and already a 59-run negative differential after, and that doesn't count tonight's game, and I think they gave up double-digit runs to the Cubs today. No balls, 2 strikes. Long at bat for Cron. The pitch served back foul. How many times Peter and Cron have matched up? They haven't.
Maybe be why he's swinging at those pitches that are about to hit him.
One ball, 2 strikes.
You know the matchup with the Phillies we talked about a lot early in the year, Moby Milner against Freddie Freeman?
Yep.
This is kind of that matchup in reverse. Got a guy throwing sidearm, trying to get him to chase. He's swinging at a lot of stuff and fouling it off, but can't get him to chase that one just a little bit too far away.
Sawed him off. Look at the ground covered by Albies, but he can't come up cleanly. If Ozzie had gotten to it and held on, they would have had a chance to get Cron, who shattered his bat, and now 2 runs and 1 out.
Came up on him.
And now Chuck Hernandez is going to come out and give Peter a breather here. Dangerous part of the lineup. You've got Duffy, Miller, and Ramos scheduled here in the 8th inning. It is a 5-0 Atlanta game, but the Rays have caught the Braves in the hit column at 6 apiece.
Chuck Hernandez taking out his ground ball advice. See if you can get me a ground ball.
We'll talk about game 2 against the Braves, as you know, and as always on Braves Live, presented by Xfinity. Here's Duffy. He's popped out, doubled, and singled. And a strike.
Good start. 2 lefties in the Atlanta pen. Minter and Biddle.
A 1 pitch. And now 0-2. It's never too early in the season to break out the old.
As soon as Duffy hits into a 5-4-3 double play, the magnificent ninth will be coming right your way.
First and second, 1 out. And served out a play to the right.
Nice catch. It's a good feeling crowd here tonight.
I'll bet he's Matt Diaz's neighbor over in Lakeland.
Could be. Going to the ballpark, going to shake his hand. That won't take too long.
0-2 from Moylan. Ground ball, foul at third. And we'll do it again.
John Smoltz jersey on that fan. Braves section.
Wearing a hat, not saying a word as he thinks about that souvenir. Two on, 1 out. 0-2 pitch. Served out of play. Yeah, that fan that made the catch, it might be Matty's neighbor. Matt looked like he was catching without a glove a lot of times too.
Oh my.
Kind of surprised Matt didn't come over and see the Braves. here in St. Pete.
Yeah, he's a big network star.
That's true. Forgot about that part. And the 0-2 again. Little roller. Dodgers having to work hard in this inning. Got the first man to strike out, but has thrown 21 pitches and is facing Duffy, his fourth hitter.
Struck out his only batter he faced against the Giants 3 days ago. Having a hard time putting him away here. Getting ahead, but can't get the out afterwards.
Miller waits on deck. Don't need any drama late in this game. Braves are in command 5-0, but Tampa Bay has a big threat. 1-2. What an at bat.
In case they're just sitting on his slow breaking ball, he's trying to sneak his fastball by him at 89. And they're fighting that off. Crone did the same thing.
Duffy's going to see a 10th pitch.
Time for Peter to break out that double breaking knuckle curve he's been working on.
One ball, 2 strikes. This at bat has cost the Rays about $150 worth of baseballs. Big league at bat though for Matt Duffy. He's got a 2-hit night. Peter tries again.
All right, let's go.
You really are in a quandary. He's not going to chase that pitch, and Peter's fastball isn't stiff enough right now to tie him up inside. So what does he go with on a 2-2 pitch?
And he's not flinching at all on anything thrown toward the inside of the plate. If he was going to swing, that would have been the one. He got the strikeout of Robertson on a sinker on a 3-2 count. He got him to go after the sinker. That's what he needs here.
Span at second, Crone at first. Span's got good speed, Crone doesn't. And now the 3-2 pitch. Just inside, and the bases are loaded. That was a terrific at bat by Duffy. And Brian Snitker's going to pop out after Moylan threw 28 pitches. Got the first out, but couldn't get number 2 or number 3. And the Rays have the bases loaded with 1 out. And Atlanta leads by 5. It's going to be Minter versus Miller. We'll see how this M&M matchup works out.
to you by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. And by SunTrust. Confidence starts here.
5-0 Atlanta. The Braves trying to continue this terrific run of shutout baseball on the road, but A.J. Minter inherits a mess. He's got the bases loaded, 1 out, and Brad Miller in the batter's box. Swing and a miss. Disappearing slider.
Sorry, Miller holds his own against lefties, hitting .263, 5 for 19 with a homer. Good pitch to start him. But he has power.
Span, Crone, and Duffy the runners. And the 0-1 pitch. No balls, 2 strikes. That's exactly where Flowers wanted it. Miller wouldn't expand his strike zone. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. First batter retired. A huge stat. And a great start for Miller. Miller wanted no part of that slider or hard curveball, and he's out number 2.
It's that cutter moving across the plate to a good spot, down and away. All 3 pitches were right there that he swung at.
So Ramos, with that 15-game hitting streak, stands in. It's on the line, as we told you. He extended it last night in his last at-bat, leading off the 9th. He's the final Rays' hope in the 8th.
He's the guy they want up there right now.
And he just took a strike.
He's chased high pitches tonight when he struck out in the 2nd and the 4th. And in the 4th, it was with runners at 2nd and 3rd and 1 out.
No head-to-head history with Minter and Ramos. And the 0-1 pitch with the bases loaded on the way. Foul back. He's got him way behind 0-2. So now, where does Minter go to end this 8th inning threat?
I like that. You can waste one up and away and see if he'll chase again, but I like that cutter down and in. Had good command of it so far.
Braves fans chopping and chanting in the 8th. No balls, 2 strikes for Ramos. Here it is. And he tried it. Ramos took it.
0-2. He wanted to bury it and make sure he didn't leave it out over the plate somehow. Nice block by Tyler.
Has one to his liking. And here it is. Hard hit ball past Culberson, a base hit. That'll bring home 2 runs for the Rays. Ramos extends his hitting streak with a 2-out, 2-strike hit. And that ends Atlanta's shutout streak on the road at 34 2/3 innings. And now you've got to worry about winning the game. It's 5-2. The Rays bring the tying run to the plate.
Over the fastball. Wanted it up and in, but it was up and out over the plate. And as you can see, just the slightest miss in location, especially to a guy like Ramos, the guy they wanted up there, can be very costly.
So Rob Refsnyder is going to pinch hit for Wendell, who's in the midst of an 0 for 19 slide. Refsnyder in the 8th in a 5-2 game now. Both those runs belong to Peter Moylan. And that one buried too low, ball 1. Anthony's a beauty. Refsnyder is appearing in his 2nd pinch hit assignment. He's 0 for 1. He's hitting 172 for the year.
Good eye, good eye.
2 balls and a strike. Broken bat fly ball center, and Ender is there, and that retires the side. The Rays get 2 runs, 3 hits. They leave 2 more stranded. We head to the 9th. 5-2 your score. Let's take a look at this day in baseball history, brought to you by Geico. May 9th, 2010, Oakland A's starter Dallas Braden threw a perfect game against these Rays at Oakland Coliseum, and it happened on Mother's Day. It was the 19th perfect game in baseball history and the 2nd thrown against the Rays in a calendar year, something Mark Burley accomplished on July 23rd, 2009. So Sergio Romo, the former Giant, former Dodger, is on to pitch the 9th inning. They'll try to hold the Braves there and give Tampa Bay a chance in the bottom of the 9th inning. It's a 5-2 game, and Romo, in for the 15th time, has apparently been hit pretty hard.
35 years old, slider.
And he tumbles to the front slope of the mound and is limping around. He hurt himself throwing that pitch. Sergio Romo threw 1 pitch and crumpled to the front slope of the mound. And now the Rays training staff and Kevin Cash are going to come out and check on him.
Pulled his ankle. Says he's okay and he's going to stay in the game.
So Romo's all right apparently as Bautista digs in 0 for 3. A couple of the changes for the Rays defensively. Rob Refsnyder stays in to play first. Miller moves to second. The Rays have a shift on for Bautista. 3 defenders on the left side of the infield. And there's that slider. It missed badly. Ball 2. Julio Teheran in line to win this game. It's a 5-2 Atlanta advantage. Remarkable run of scoreless baseball for the Braves on the road. 34 2/3 innings for Tampa Bay. Got 2 in the 8th. Sharply hit and pulled toward the Braves bullpen. Nice job on the ballpoint, providing protection for Braves catcher Jose Yepez, who appreciates that. The 2-2 pitch. Bautista skies one to straightaway center. And Alex Smith puts it away for the first out. Tell you what, the Rays pitching staff after a rough 3rd inning has been remarkably good. Kind of what you mentioned happened last night.
16 in a row set down since the leadoff single by Inciarte in the 4th.
Romo gets Bautista, who is 0 for 4 tonight. Tyler Flowers the batter with a couple of strikeouts. He's 0 for 3. And in for a strike. Tampa Bay heads out on a long road trip starting Friday. They go to Baltimore, Kansas City, and then face the Angels. One of those dates against Baltimore involves a doubleheader they have to make up. So 11 games in 10 days coming up on the road for the Rays. And then they have the pleasure of coming home and facing the Red Sox. The 0-2. A little squibber. Romo gloves and flips to first in time. 17 up, 17 down, 2 away.
He's not moving too well. He's favoring his left ankle, as you can see as he took that throw from the umpire. Kudos to him for staying in. Just looking at Gwinnett's game last night. Here's that play again. Colby Allard won his 2nd game. He's got the 6th best ERA in the International League, 2.12. And Austin Riley, another good night since he got called up, 2 for 4 with a double.
Well, Ender has 2 hits. You said he'd get 3. He's got a shot.
It's coming. We're almost really scuffling. Can't put any weight on that left foot after he follows through.
Ender's 2 for 6 against him with a double. And now 2-1. Mean 2 balls, 2 strikes. Romo, the 4th Rays pitcher to work tonight. Yarbrough started, went 5, gave up 5 runs. Andres, Kittredge, and now Sergio Romo trying to shut down the Braves the rest of the way. In the bottom of the 9th, they'll have the lower 3rd of their offensive order coming up. And now the 2-2 pitch. Lifted toward left center field. That ball's pretty well struck, but Span is there, and he almost misplayed that. So 18 up, 18 down for the Rays staff. Kudos to Sergio Romo pitching hurt. Last call for Tampa Bay with Atlanta up 5-2.
Southeast is presented by your local Chevy dealer. Georgia Drive Chevy. Find new roads.
Well, the Braves need 3 outs for their 7th consecutive road win. They enjoy a 5-2 lead. Arodys Vizcaíno is going to come on and try to get the 7, 8, 9 hitters for Tampa Bay.
The last thing that Brian Snitker wanted to do was to have to use his end-of-the-game guys with the lead, and that includes Minter and Vizcaíno. That's why you saw Freeman and then Moylan hoping to kind of skate through and finish the game up. It didn't happen, and now need 3 outs from the closer on consecutive nights.
Gomez 0 for 3. He's hit the ball in the air twice, on the ground once, after leading off last night and striking out twice. Kevin Cash moved him to the number 7 spot, and he's put the ball in play 3 times, but still has not recorded a hit. And he's given the evil eye to Chris Siegel. High fly ball toward left. Let's see if Acuna can catch this one without problem. He did. 2-handed catch. Looks like he's got a different glove out there too. He had a red glove earlier. There's a darker glove for Ronald. And there's the first out.
Getting a little grief from the Braves bullpen too. Always good to get that first one.
That might be a question for Paul Burt on Braves Live. Why the glove change for Acuna? Here's Smith. 2 strikeouts and a double from Alex. And a beauty for strike 1. Braves are 2 outs away from going to 20-10 all-time head-to-head with Tampa Bay. Starting their interleague schedule against the AL East 2-0. We'll see the Rays again in Atlanta August 28th and 29th. Next interleague action, as Malix didn't get that one and is struck out for a 3rd time, will be at Fenway Park in Boston, May 25th, 6th, and 7th. And now Atlanta's an out away. And Daniel Robertson, the final hope for the Rays. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Two outs on 5 pitches for Vizcaíno. You know, Brian Snitker would love 10, 11 pitches at the most.
Yeah.
He's a big, strong man. That might mean he'd be available tomorrow if needed against Caleb Smith and the Marlins. Ground ball, that is a fair ball. It ricochets to Camargo, but no play. Tough break. Right down the line. Culberson with a backhanded try, couldn't come up cleanly. And the inning continues. The game continues. Runner at first with 2 outs.
Probably anticipating that hitting the bag. Looked like it was going to. Base hit.
So Robertson in the hit column. Denard Span the batter. He singled and scored the first Rays run of this series last inning.
Did the same San Francisco Giants team leave Atlanta and go to Philadelphia, or did they bring in some different guys?
I'm guessing they brought in some different guys. I don't understand that.
11-1 tonight, Phillies.
Wow.
Still playing.
The Phillies trying to catch Atlanta. Braves trying to stay a half game up with action beginning in Miami tomorrow.
And the Braves do not want to see Cron come to the plate representing the tying run.
He's the man on deck with a 2-hit night. Pitch. 2-1. Not sure Denard Span thought much of that call. Span's 1 for 4 with a triple in his career against the Roadies. 2 balls, 1 strike. And now Atlanta a strike away from ending our trip to Tampa Bay.
Tough 2-strike hitter. Got to make a good pitch to get him.
And here it is. Grounded to first. Freddie's got it. Vizcaino to the bag, and the Braves have won it. 5-2 your final score. 7 consecutive road victories for the Braves. Nick Markakis with the power, a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning. And let's not forget, Joe, the outstanding work of Julio Teheran. 6 more scoreless innings with 7 strikeouts and no walks as he earns his 3rd win.
Julio is hotter than a dancing bobcat, and he is making some great pitches when he needs to. Out of the stretch today, he was outstanding.
So Atlanta will maintain its lead in the East no matter what the Phillies do tonight. Braves are 21-14 and headed to Miami to start a 4-game series tomorrow night. For Paul Bird, Joe Simpson, and our great crew, Chip Carey, thanks for joining us. 5-2 Atlanta the win. We'll talk about it with you on Braves Live, presented by Xfinity next.